Hey y'all, what's up? Um, lately there's been a lot of controversy around buying black and what that means to certain people and what that defines you as if you choose to or not to do so. Um, I don't care what anybody says, bullying is just not okay. Whatever your cause or reason for it is, it's not cool. If you are telling someone that if they don't buy black, whatever that actually means, I'm not even sure what that really means. Um, because the company might be back, but the manufacturer of that business may not be. Like if you have a black owned business, but your products are not coming from a black manufacturer, what makes you different, really? Because what that means is anything that's coming from you should be from someone black, like period. Um, so that becomes my issue. I'm fully aware of what's going on with black equality, and it has been going on for a million years. Everybody knows that. Everybody also knows that um, money kind of controls everything else outside of power, which money doesn't always equate to power because there's people with money with no voice. So let's not get that twisted. Um, my problem is if it's promoted that we now as black people need to only buy from black people, that is the exact same thing as what is already happening. Telling me where to put my money really is not okay, especially if the problem is okay, everybody goes to black businesses only. They don't go to Target, they don't go to Old Navy, they don't go to stores where they actually get all of their products from. They go strictly to black businesses. What's not being considered is that with this influx, that business is going to become overwhelmed. With the rate of unemployment being so high right now, they may not have the staff as a small business to handle all of these orders. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is they're not going to be able to produce or to handle the influx, and they're going to end up looking like they're unprofessional, whatever the case may be. Um, and that's not fair to them because now you're pushing everybody to them because that's what we're supposed to do and everything. But let's not look at it all as let's only buy black. How about we support by saying, hey, do you need a hand? Do you need someone? Do you need volunteers? Do you like ask those businesses what they need? Because the problem I'm having, and I think it's just because I work with small businesses on as my day job, there is real concerns with small businesses, especially at this day and age. It's not only about them lacking customers, it's them lacking employees, them lacking resources, them lacking knowledge on how. Because look at how it is. We more businesses now are working from a digital standpoint where they had a brick and mortar store. So their way of doing sales and everything is going to be different. How about instead of saying if you don't buy black, you don't support, how about those same businesses saying buy black, or those organizations or whatever, how about you hit up all of these lists that are being created on who is a black business and who isn't and all of this stuff? How about before you put their names out there, you find out what they need in order to ensure their customer service, their productivity, their manufacturing, their whatever it is that they could possibly need is up to par. Because what you're going to end up doing with this influx of go there, is you're going to end up making them look bad. because more than likely they're not going to have what they need, and it's not all because of we're not supporting each other. If they're a new business that just started out, they don't have the structure necessarily to handle an influx of customers. It's not that their product isn't quality or whatever. It's just a matter of lack of hands. So before it goes, hey, go over there because they're black. How about you be like, hey, we see that you're black owned. Do you need help? Like, we want to support you. We want you to get more customers. We want to make sure. Do you have a marketing team? Do you have staff? What do you need to be successful? Can we start there? Maybe. Can we start there? Because it's not going to be fair. It's not. Because there's been multiple circumstances when I would buy from a small business because I would love to support. I have no problem with supporting. But because of their lack of staff, period, it takes longer. And let's be honest, a lot of us are not patient people. So now you're going to give that person a bad review. You're going to give them 1 star, and whatever the case is. You're going to hurt their business because they don't have the staff needed to produce at this high of a rate. And you telling people if they don't buy black and they buy everywhere else, this is their money. They put it where they want to put it. Who are you to tell them where to buy from? And even if you want to do that, even if you want to, then you make a partnership with every business that's saying if you don't buy, or every person that says if you don't buy black, then you don't support. How about you align yourself and partner up with people so that they can have all the support from you and their staff to be able to conduct business at this time? This is the worst time, period, to do that to someone, because no one, half of their staff probably don't even want to go back to work. Let's read the news. Let's look at the news. Let's look at the news outside of the travesties. Let's look at the financials and the business aspect of things. Half of their staff probably are not going to even come back because they're making so much money on unemployment. They don't have the support from their own staff to conduct all of this business that is supposedly coming to them. So if they get all of this business but they're not able to handle it, no one is going to buy from them because they're like, yo, what is going on? Let's be real about this. Let's look at the realization and the real facts of what's happening right now. You're going to put more people in the red than in the green by telling everybody to go to them, and you don't even know what their circumstances in regards to where they stand with their help. If there's one person, if they only have 2 people handling business on their business, and you send in them thousands of people at a time, thousands and thousands of people, because let's look at it. If it's on social media, there's a whole bunch of different social media channels that you have influencers saying, go buy from here, and there's only 2 people in that staff. They're not going to get their orders until maybe August, and they look bad. They don't deserve to look bad. They don't deserve to seem like their customer service is terrible because they can't respond to every single email because there's only 2 people on their staff. That's not support. Even if they get the money, even if they're now getting more wealth and money, they're going to lose all of that in reputation because there's only 2 people in their staff trying to handle all of these people's orders and everything that has to be going on. And with we all know, since COVID-19 has happened, mail is going so slow now. You order something, you're not getting it until 2-3 weeks later. And if they're a small business and they're mailing out everything on their own, it could take way longer than that for them to even begin to start shipping things out. Can we look at the facts, please? It's not all about if you don't support, you ain't it. There's levels to supporting somebody. There's levels. It's not all about money. And that seems to be the real, we need to take their money away. We need to hit them where it hurts. But you're hurting your own doing that. Are you sending volunteers to these small businesses? Are you sending volunteers to work with these businesses to assist them and make sure that they can get these orders done when you send all of these people to them? Whether it be their restaurant or their clothing line or their accessories line or whatever the business is, are you sending assistance to that? Are you contacting them to make sure that they have the staff to handle this influx of people? Let's be 100. You doing this for people. You trying to take away from $1 billion, thousands and thousands of employee businesses. You're taking away from them to add to the small businesses, which in theory is great. But you're not recognizing that these businesses that you're taking from have thousands of employees. Thousands. And the people you're sending these thousands of people to sell, to buy instead, might only have 3 people on their staff. And guess what? As an impatient people, more than likely, they're going to get a whole bunch of people that's like, yo, I want a refund. I found it cheaper somewhere else and you're taking too long. Then what? Then it's going to be a whole nother level, another wave of, this is the problem, we don't want to support each other. Support is not only money. Are you willing to work with these people specifically? Are you willing to take time out of your day and out of your getting your money to help? You can't do that, especially in this time. It's not realistic. And if you're going to do it, then at least be like, look, hey, y'all, the same way you send a list, hey, y'all, these people need such, contact them, please, so they can get these orders out. And, help them manually. Can they do virtual assistance? Can they do virtual order filling? Like, getting orders is not easy to do when you're getting so many at a time that you can't even breathe. That causes anxiety. That causes a sense of defeat, of failure, of letting people down, shame, because now you're like, dang, I have all of these people that want to support me, but I don't have the resources to get them the stuff right away. You're going to make it, it's like there's so many levels that people are not recognizing, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the small businesses that have to go through so much stress within themselves and feel like they can't do the best that they can when most of their staff don't want to come back and they have all of these orders coming in. So I just want it to be understood that it's so many different levels to having a business that people don't want to acknowledge, and I don't know why, but that's not my business. I would be glad to, it's not enough to just buy someone's stuff. That's not enough support. Yeah, you giving them money, but if they can't handle the influx, they could still fail. Can we help each other help each other? Can we at least be like, yo, how many staff members do you have? How much time does it take for each order? How much time do you need between orders? Like, these things are important. Can we make a alliance of businesses? Can we make a structured business model where we check in on each other to see if we can help or lend a hand with our staff and say, hey, I I'm not as busy right now. If I'm a seasonal business or whatever, like I only have a business, my business is only open during the summer months or the spring and summer, maybe I can help you while I'm, free. Because that's what it comes down to. And some businesses, they are entrepreneurs and they have a great product, but they don't know how to market. Hey, um, do you need help with marketing? Do you need help with customer service? Do you need help with HR? Do you need help with policy making? Like, there's businesses who have no idea how to get beyond their product being good and putting it online. These things are support. Being an established business and taking a small business under your wing to help them build themselves as a business and get a reputation of being a good quality business because they have the tools they need to do that. We don't have enough of that. The people that's doing those classes are not black. And if they are black doing it, you got to give them so much of your money that you don't even have. So let's make it realistic. If I am a small business and I just started and I only want to work with my own, and to do that, I got to give you $1,000 up front that I don't have in order for you to help me know how to market and whatever. And then I go somewhere else where it's free. Then it's, oh, you don't support. It's not, I can't afford it. I don't buy expensive from anybody. If it's outside of my budget, I can't do it. It's not a matter of I don't want to support. It's a matter I can't afford it. If I'm buying a product and the product is, and I'm not stupid or naive or in denial. I understand that material and shipping and all of that makes my accounts, and all of that has to be accounted for when you sell or whatever. I'm completely aware, but I can't support what I can't afford. And isn't that the problem? That we are underpaid and underrated? So how am I to feel if I'm being accused of not being a supporter of my own people when I literally would love to but can't? I'm barely making it as it is. I'm barely surviving on what I have. I'm barely getting my bills that I have paid on a monthly, and I have to skip some just to keep myself from being completely poor. Some of us just can't do it. Like, we just can't do it. It's not a matter of you just rather buy from the other or anything like that. I literally just can't do it. I would love to, but I have to figure out what I really, and the thing about it is too, you would assume I would love to get something of quality. Of course, who wouldn't? But if all I can afford is something that I know is going to break apart in 3 weeks, but right now I just need it for right now, I got to accommodate for right now, my need right now. It's the issues at hand are being ignored because of the radicalness that people have going on. And I understand what the point of it all is. But what's being ignored, and the thing that's so ironic about it, is that the point that's being ignored is the same point that's being argued. We are not treated fairly. We don't get paid the same rate. We don't get the same things. We are, a lot of us are under middle class, a lot of us are poor, but then you give a product that costs so much money that I would have to not have groceries to afford it. Not only that, I'd have to not have groceries to afford it and something else because I have to pay for the product and shipping is outrageous. And again, I'm not ignorant to how much things cost and what has to happen and all of that stuff. But the products that I would want for myself because I deserve it. I work hard every day. I want to get that. I have to really sit here and budget like, dang, what can I not do this month so that I can. Now you have people feeling guilty for not being able to afford supporting. All of this is psychological, and psychological problems can convert into financial problems because if it's psychological, you're going to lose somewhere. So it's not enough to say, hey, we need to invest in our own and we need to stop making excuses. How about we teach each other how to get out of our rut in a way that we can afford as a whole? Why don't we have it where instead of just generalizing, there are studies done by us for us about what populations and what's the median and what's the median salary, how much it is for each state to actually the cost of living for us in each state, each city, and how we can adjust ourselves to assist those who can't do it but want to. And then on the side of the businesses, who needs help to make sure that their business is aligned with customer service, reliability, marketing skills, all of that stuff. Can we do that? Can we do the background work before we just go out and tell everybody you're trash because you're not buying from your own and whatever when you don't know what their circumstance is? And some people actually take this really seriously and really get sad and depressed and feel like crap because, dang, I can't help and I want to help. Can we stop it already? Like, and can we stop pushing for something and not have all the details? Please. Because you're going to make people who have these businesses who are not fully equipped to handle a big push of people overwhelmed and not able to do their best work, which will cause a rift in the people and their opinion. And we all know there's at least 10 people who's going to give them 1 star because of something that wasn't communicated because they didn't have the time because they were trying to force out all of these orders at the same time. Can we do that? I'm just saying. Because if you're competing with a company that has thousands of employees and you only have 3, and 4 of them not coming back because unemployment is just too good for them and they don't want to come back to work, which is cultural, not race-wise. Let's be clear on that. That has nothing to do with race. That's everything with mentality and whatever it is they have going on. But let's be honest about it. If we're going to be honest, let's be honest. Because this is ridiculous. And I'm very offended about it because it's like nobody is really looking at the ins and outs of what it is to have a business and what it means to conduct business. And the format and the steps to have a good business and a flourishing business. And the fact that it does not come because more people are ordering, but it comes when you have support on the front lines in their spot. And that's what I have to say on that.